Welcome to another episode of Jewish Softball More Than a Game, where the stories on the diamond go deeper than the box scores. This is our second episode as part of the Shalom Sluggers University segment. I'm your host, Maddie Lewis, joined by my co-host and good friend, Arizona Richie.
Hello.
Today, we're joined by a true student athlete in every sense of the word. Hailing from Culver City, Los Angeles, she is currently in her senior season at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, also known as RPI, an elite engineering school in Troy, New York, just outside of Albany. She's a three-time All-Liberty League selection in the infield and three-time All-Academic honoree majoring in mathematics. She led the entire NCAA D3 in sacrifice hits per game. Got to get those bunts down. This was last season, and holds RPI's single season and career records for total sack hits. She's also been a member of the Israeli women's national team for the last 2 years. Following graduation, she will be pursuing a master's degree in business analytics at RPI. And then after that, she'll be off to Japan to teach English for a few years before returning to the US to launch her professional career. Let's welcome today's guest, Evann McDowell. How are we doing today, Evan?
So good. How are you?
Doing good. I know it's late for you both, so appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules and the late nights. I know usually everyone wants to wind down at this time, but we're stoked to talk to you today.
I can actually do the first one. A question came to me while you were doing that intro.
Please, please.
Okay, Evan, what was that stat about the most stack?
Hits?
It's
Yeah.
so random. It's basically just bunts. I had the most in the entire division last
Okay,
year.
well, I was when Maddie said that, I was like, you know what? That is Evan. She is probably the most selfless person I've ever met and like very naturally. Like I've never thought for 1 second it's like fake or for you to gain something. It's like genuinely so selfless and authentic.
Oh, thank
And
you.
you're welcome. My question is, do you know like what kind of instilled that in you as a person and a teammate and a player, or did you even realize you had that as a skill? Yeah,
This is
that's my question.
Z. I literally had that same thought written up. Yeah, crazy. Just to add a little 2 cents, and I'll let you answer the question because I have the same
Yeah.
one. But I just feel like you do all the little things right too, and like your attention to detail is like so on, like you're so on top of it, right? Like if you ask Evan to do something, she will do it down to the T in every detail that you ask of. To Z's point, when did that kind of become part of like who you are as a person, but also like part of your game?
I don't know. I didn't really think about it. I just think softball's more fun when you have fun, so I try to just have fun. So maybe that kind of goes with it. I really don't know. I definitely got it from my mom because my mom is one of the most bubbly, like happiest human beings I've ever met in my entire life. So, she's always like, if you're kind, if you're nice to other people, if you're happy, have a good attitude, then it hopefully melts into
Things will work out.
So yeah, as for attention to detail in softball, I don't know. Maybe it's a math thing because
I was just gonna say, I think that
yeah,
comes just like your intellect, because
yeah.
again, Pod, Evan is one of the smartest people I've ever met.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
I feel like that would be your attention to detail because you're always looking at those numbers and
Yeah.
all
My
stuff.
dad, when he was teaching me math, like everyone does at like a kitchen table and he's like yelling at you, you got to do it right, all that stuff. He told me that every time I do math, I have to do it really systematically. Like you need to put each line as a new equation and you go down the line. So maybe that's just how I see everything now
And
as the math major I am.
did he mean that by like you have to see it in your head,
No, like literally write it out,
write it out? Okay.
like show my work, everything, like very systematically. I have a very systematic family, I guess. I don't know. I never
Yeah.
really thought about that. But
Well,
I'm glad
we
it
we
comes
picked
off
up
that
on
way.
it fast.
Okay.
Can you also talk to us about your mindset when it comes to being a good teammate? How do you have the mindset of like team first always? Like I feel like that's really hard to ingrain in people, especially at a young age. So was there a particular time where it like clicked for you, or how did that come about?
Whenever I would be on the field, I think there's a job in every position or role you have. So whether you're bench, a backup, on the field, a pitching, whatever, like a bullpen catch, whatever, I always think that there's always a job, and I feel like people don't always see that. And as being somebody who's probably done almost every single one of those, I try to give the positive reinforcement too.
Well, I feel like it's hard for you to answer because it's just like who you are. and we're like asking you to like tell us
Yeah.
why it's who you are, but it's just like who you are. It's like the real answer. It's just kind of part of probably how you were raised, and then that led into how you practiced, and now it's just who you are.
When, especially in important games, it doesn't really matter like who does what as long as, we come out on top. So,
Yeah.
especially playing for like an entire country, it's definitely like, oh, I don't really care what happens or how it happens or whether it was on an error or a hit or a mistake. Like, as long as somebody does it, I'm thrilled and happy to
Yeah.
cheer for that.
Yeah, and I
So,
think people like yourself, they don't have to think twice about like doing the right thing or being a good person. Like Z said, it's just like in your nature. So it's hard to answer questions like that when people are like, "Why do you do this?" It's like what you're supposed to do?
I'm really glad it came off that way.
Yeah, it definitely is. I remember I don't know what game it was, but I feel like Evan was just like stand out being a good teammate, and we were all like saying that, and you just started like bawling, crying.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that was against like Spain or something.
I don't
Germany.
even
No,
remember
I think it
why.
was Germany. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but good job, Ben.
Thanks. I remember that. That was a lot. That was a lot emotionally.
Yeah, it
But
was a
like a good a
time.
lot. A good a
Yeah.
lot.
So for those that don't know about RPI, can you kind of tell us a little bit about that school? I think it is a perfect fit for you. If people
Yeah.
know your personality and how smart you are, but can you kind of describe, the culture at that university on the field and in the classroom?
Yeah, so just a general information about it. It's a polytech school in Troy, New York, so kind of upstate New York, though some people don't actually call it upstate. It's primarily an engineering school, so most people come here to do like mechanical engineering, aerospace. It also has a pretty good business program. So, it goes hand in hand. So mainly anything STEM you come here. There is hardly any like liberal arts things that you can take, though there's some like music or some graphic design, but no English, no like history. There's honestly none of that at all. We don't even have the departments. So it's that kind of school. It's very like engineering, math heavy. I haven't taken a reading class or an English class once here since I've been here. So
No offense,
that's
Evan. I would hate your college. I'll say it, I hate RPI. No, I'm kidding. But I would really hate it.
As for the softball culture, our coach is very, because it's a D3. Anyone that comes here to play softball that's kind of like a bonus for them. It's like, wow, I get to be a student athlete and, play softball because there's really not a whole lot of softball schools that do engineering like RPI does. So, a lot of people who want STEM, like hardcore STEM, they come here. So that's kind of our coach's mindset too. So I'm sure a lot of schools do this, but she's very heavy on if you have office hours, class, exams, whatever, like you can miss practices, you can miss lifts, obviously make them up, but she's very heavy on the student athlete instead of like more on the athlete. So that's kind of the vibe with the team. I actually am not an engineer, which is really interesting because I go to an engineering school and our mascot's the engineers, but yeah, I'm a math major. So it's really fun. That's kind of the vibe of the school. Everyone that goes here is they call it RPI people. It's very nerdy.
But you like you thrive in that, don't
Oh
you?
my God, I love it. It's the best. It's awesome.
Would you say you found RPI and then wanted to move to the East Coast, or did you want to move to the East Coast first?
I actually didn't really care where I went. I was actually very heavy on the find a school that has good math program or like a good practical like STEM program instead of like UC. UCs are pretty research based. I didn't want anything research based. I didn't want anything like liberal arts, but I did want to play softball. So I kind of just applied to everything STEM that I was interested, and then the ones that had softball, I would really, really go for, and it ended up
Okay,
going really well because I really
cool.
wanted to play softball still. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
how do you feel about the East Coast?
it's the only issue is that it's really cold and it snows way too much and it rains way too much. Being
Yeah,
from
well,
Culver City,
yeah.
Where you
Well,
don't
you
even
live
see
in
rain.
a
huh?
very different part of the East Coast than I do, so I also could not live upstate.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little too cold. I'm not opposed to the entire East Coast, but where I am currently, Troy, it's a very small town too. It's not
Yeah.
like it's near Albany, but it's very like it's very East Coasty in my opinion. Take that
Okay.
as you will.
Whatever that means to
From
you.
somewhere.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's also really hard to get to, right? Like, don't you have to like where do you
Yeah,
fly
there's
in?
There's no direct flights. I fly most through Midway and BWI of Baltimore.
I don't like
My two.
BWI.
You know
RPI is
what?
not for Z.
I'm sure you could get for the RPI easier from anywhere from the East Coast, just
Yeah,
definitely the West Coast. Maybe you would have a
I'm
direct.
sure there's an Amtrak somewhere
Oh yeah.
close.
There's a Amtrak station right next to our school. It's actually called the Rensselaer Station.
There you
Rensselaer.
go.
But my favorite thing about RPI is that I'm pretty sure most schools do this. Maybe it's just like a new general introduction to schools because my sister 4 years ago didn't have these. It's a capstone. Did you guys have capstones?
Capstones got kind of introduced to me while I was at UVM.
Yeah. Well,
So like, yeah.
yeah, they're actually my favorite thing in the entire world. I did one, it was like a geostats analysis and from like a data set from NASA's like Mars rovers. It was so awesome. I felt so cool. But yeah,
So this is like capstone
I
project. Does
I
everyone
wish
do
that
one?
I could say something more about that, but
about
I
capstones.
can't know about what you just said your capstone was on. And I have nothing to say about it because I don't know anything about the words that you said.
Yeah, try to elaborate a little bit more.
Okay, so I think in general, capstones you go like your school connects with a current company, like an active company, and they assign a project for you. So it's just a class where you do a project. So mine was 3 semesters long, but in that, you do your thing. And so mine was so Mars rovers are collecting like geodata, so like oxides, so magnesium or iron, like MgO, stuff like that. And then they come back in this giant data set, and then you kind of just do your own analysis on them. So some people were doing like PCA analysis or whatever. I was specifically doing kriging and variograms, which is like looking at the variance in different oxides in different places so that you could see which ones have more or less like bedrock or magnesium. And that says, oh, this being here maybe says that there was water, and this being here maybe says that there was lava flow or yada yada yada, stuff like that. So
That's
you can
actually really
like
cool.
do your own thing on it too.
That's cool. I did a capstone in my master's actually that I forgot about until just now. And it
Yeah.
was on bees in the Cameroons. So,
Nice. What'd you
yeah,
find?
nothing.
Oh, oh,
No, it was like a group one where dang, I can't even really remember it. It was like a policy plan to get the bee population back on track and
oh,
like
nice.
help the community with the honey business and this whole policy thing. So I don't remember what our results were though. It was like 2 years ago at this point, which is crazy, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
2 years
you're
ago.
getting up there, Z.
Yeah. Oh God.
I'm just kidding. So, Evan, how do you manage the demands of your rigorous academic schedule and being able to play and researching Mars and doing all the other crazy academic things you do?
And traveling in the summers for Team Israel
Oh,
and
traveling.
citizenship and all of that stuff.
And getting back from Egypt not too long ago.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
totally my mom. I can tell you about that later. But this is gonna sound really like cliche or like Evan, be serious right now. But I just really like it all. Like I like the school that I go to is very like I don't like reading that much, papers and everything that are like history. I don't like that. So everything I take in this school is basically just things that I like. Like there's nothing that even my electives, I can just pick and choose. Like I took Earth and Sky the other semester. Like it's just really fun. So I think I enjoy it. So it motivates me more to like get it done and keep to a, if you can't tell, I'm very regimented in scheduling. So like I don't know. I feel like it's pretty easy to lock in on things that I'm having fun on. Like if I didn't enjoy my capstone, it was a lot of coding, a lot of work, took so much time, but it was really fun. So I really didn't mind like locking in on it. And then same thing with traveling. Traveling is one of my favorite things to do. I'm obsessed with the world wonders. So any chance I get to go somewhere and have a new experience and meet new people, I love people. It's so much fun. So maybe that's why I just really like it. So I don't mind spending all of my hours doing it.
That was
So,
like the most wholesome episode.
so bottom line, find stuff that you enjoy doing
Yeah.
and do it as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I will say I am so blessed and lucky and thankful to have the family that I do to make this possible. Because I mean, RPI is a private school. It's like I get some scholarships and help, but it's like all my parents, like they're so
supporting
awesome.
you.
They're so awesome. Like I can do all of this with barely touching my own bank account. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you. All right. Obviously, naturally, you're very optimistic You're very bubbly. You have a great outlook on life.
Thanks.
When you have bad feelings, how do you handle that? So, like, obviously, you have to have some bad feelings. Like, do you ever have anxiety? Have you ever been mad at somebody? I can't see you being mad at anybody, but have you ever been mad at anybody? Do you have anxiety, real life and softball?
Okay, I am human, so I do have like bad days and like not feel,
Yeah,
but in general, I'm actually fairly not that
good.
bad. I actually do not have anxiety
That's
at
nice.
all, actually. Or maybe I do, I just don't know what it is, but I really feel like I don't. I get nervous, but I really feel like that's something completely different, like
Yeah.
like nervousness does happen, but anytime, oh wait, go into the who if I have ever hated it, I've never hated anybody. There are
No,
people
that
who
was not my question. Have you been mad at somebody?
oh, sorry. I'm sure I've been mad at somebody.
She doesn't even have a sure yes. She's like, I'm sure I have been.
Let me
Yeah.
try to scope it out.
Like
What's
I've
time?
Did you ever like yell at your mom as a kid?
Oh, for sure. I'm sure
Okay.
I did.
All right, we're
But
getting back down to earth
I
here.
definitely like I actually remember I in Egypt I got really mad at my dad and I like yelled at him and then we got home from the trip and I came downstairs crying and apologized because I felt really bad. So like
Oh my
I
God.
don't like strife and I don't like anger. And if I don't like somebody and we don't like figure out how to mend it, I just keep my distance. Like it's just I won't surround myself with you and it's whatever. But in general, I also get over things pretty quickly because I also know that other people are human and you never know what's going on in other people's lives. So if they have a bad day and they snap at you or say something rude, like if they're not my best friend, I don't know that much about them. So it's kind of just like, oh, that was rude. That's okay. That's just like kind of the
That's
outlook
nice.
I have. And then
Like benefit of the doubt.
yeah. And then I definitely have like bad days, not great days. I feel like I've talked about this so much, so people might be tired of me saying this or talking about it, but I broke my arm a couple or like a year ago. And that was like the worst experience ever, like with the rehab. If anybody wants to see, here's the scar. It was like the worst rehab experience ever. And it was right before like the summer was ending. So I was going back to school and like starting fall ball, but it was just so painful. Like I wasn't quite done with rehab yet. And I just kind of like, I heard my B person say, "Oh, everything is as tolerable and you can't hurt it more." So I think I like probably didn't take the best care of it, and so it just made it more painful. So like those days I was kind of just like, "Ugh, this is terrible. Life sucks." But I deal with it by any time there's something bad or I'm not feeling good or whatever. I'm just like, it's gonna end and it'll be okay. So like the pain, it'll go away eventually, and this bad day will go away. Like somebody will say something nice and it'll just like lighten my day. And then it makes like when people do say something nice so much better. Because if you're having a bad day and they're like, "Oh, your hair's so pretty," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah, I do
So,
know.
like that. So it's
Yeah,
difficult.
like it's not
But
forever.
yeah, but I will say I'm very also blessed to not have crazy anxiety or like depression. I know people have like intense situations, so I'm very lucky. Thank
Before
God.
we move on, I feel like we need to kind of go back to the arm situation for those that aren't aware. Evan took a 70-mile-per-hour plus
Disgusting.
screwball straight to the forearm, right? She was
Yeah.
right-handed.
I
Yes, I
honestly
got
don't
that.
even know
Wow.
what pitch it was, so good
So
for you
yeah,
for
that
doing
was
that.
pretty gnarly.
It was
But
gross.
as Evan does it,
Terrible to hear. Terrible to hear, terrible to see.
but
All of
but as
No, oh my
does,
God, but these
hand
girls, they told me that they heard it from the other field. It was so nasty.
it. No, no, no.
But yeah.
So it's good to hear that even on those bad days, you still had some positivity deep down, and now you're back to being your bubbly self. Although I still feel like you were like pretty positive through all of it. So
Yeah, at least
Well,
like
yeah, I mean, I was also just
outwardly
happy to
to
be
us.
there.
Yeah, that's true.
It was so fun. And Yoel was with me like the whole time, so
Yeah,
he was so nice. And like Wolf gave me candies. It was just everyone was being extra nice too, which was also very helpful.
yeah.
so your journey with Team Israel hasn't been easy by any means. I mean, that was like the first time you played with us, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then, going through the whole citizenship process. Yeah, through all of that, what experiences have stood out to you or what memories have been the best?
To be honest, like in all honesty, the beginning was just really frustrating because I was supposed to go right after I broke my arm and then I broke my arm and couldn't go. And I was like, oh, gotta wait another year. It was terrible. And then the next year was kind of just all up in the air with the state of Israel and what was going on. But when I actually went there to get my citizenship, it was actually really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I
Was
stayed
that
with,
your first time in Israel?
no, I went on birthright like
I didn't know
years.
you went on birthright.
Not 5 years ago. I did, yeah. I went with my sister and my best friend.
Oh,
I really don't even remember. Maybe 4 years ago. I don't remember. Whenever I was 18. But yeah, it was really fun. And then I did all like the sightseeing stuff on Birthright. So when I went this time, it was kind of just more chill and more relaxed. I stayed with a family friend that went to college with my mom. And so that was really nice. It was kind of just like the homey version of Israel instead of the travel around version of Israel. So
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel because I went on Birthright too, but it's a completely different trip the second time you
oh,
go when
yeah.
you don't have to do, Masada and
Yeah.
the Dead Sea and all that. You can just like live the life of an Israeli. I feel like it's completely different
Yeah.
perspective and almost more enjoyable.
Yeah, and it was fun. I could like really practice Hebrew, though I'm really bad at it. Because there was a cute little coffee. It was a very small town, very rural, and like the people that run the coffee shop always like try to talk to you, and it never works. And then you say like 3 words, and it's very cute. So it's fun to practice all that. And it was very peaceful, contrary to what's said around right now. It was very
yeah.
peaceful.
I feel like your brain is already primed to pick up Hebrew though because you're already bilingual. Do you think that's true?
Yes. I think it was nice. I went to Hebrew school, so they did teach me how to read, so my reading's nice. So like but maybe. I did read a bunch of studies on like bilingual kids and like the more like it's easier to learn a language obviously growing up with it, but once you
Yeah.
start learning different language, it's easier to pick up others. So
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe. I would actually love to see like because Japanese and Hebrew are completely different, but maybe
Yes.
Hebrew and maybe Arabic could be somewhat similar. I actually have no
They
idea.
are, yeah.
So I actually would love to see like a correlation on whether, learning Japanese helps at all with learning Hebrew versus vice
You
versa.
should do the study. But yes, they have the same like root words and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that would be kind of fun to look at.
So on that
Do it.
topic, give us your background on your connection to Japan
Uh,
and wanting to go back, live and teach there. I know it won't be your first time living there, right?
No, no. So I went to immersion elementary school, and there's two different tracks. There's a Japanese track and a Spanish track, and both learn English. And I obviously did the Japanese track, and they teach it to you as if they're trying to make it your first language. But obviously, I was living in America during this, so they do need to teach you English. But when you're in kindergarten, it's 100% Japanese, 0% English except for English class. And then as you get older, the ratio gets closer. So then it's 90-10, 80-20, so on until you get to fifth grade so that you're not completely oblivious when you get to middle school and they don't speak, Japanese and stuff. Like, you know how to listen.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And then when you're done with fifth grade, they send you out to Japan if you want. They send you out to Japan to live with the host family and go to school with them for a little bit. And yeah, that's what I did. You gotta like
That's fifth grade?
yeah, yeah. So my host family, so I have three host sisters and a host mom and a host grandfather. And I was in Kaizuka, Japan, which is really close to Osaka. So I don't know if you guys know any Japanese geography, but it like how it has that big thing up at the top and then the main body and then it goes over here and then there's an island right here, right there. Like right in that
Okay.
I'm in the main body, pretty central. So
Nice.
yeah. So that's where I got it. And then I was able to keep it up because, obviously I moved back to America, did most like the rest of my life here. My best friends, so I've had the same three best friends from kindergarten until even now. So we all went through the same program. So they also went to Japan and lived with people completely different areas, but it was still the same experience. So we kind of just speak to each other in Japanese. So it's easy to keep it up. And I still keep up with my host sister. And yeah, she's excited for me to come. And I'm going to go to Japan after I graduate. So it's really exciting. Yay!
And you said you're gonna teach? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, so there's I feel like I don't need to jump into working again right after
I
college.
support you in the idea.
Yeah,
I really
Me
support
too.
you.
yeah. And like the jobs I've had, they're like I wasn't ever gonna stay in them for that long anyway. So it's good experience to just have or whatever. But
Yeah.
I wanted to go abroad, but I never could because softball is like fall ball and spring ball, and then working over the summer and internships. So I really wanted the abroad experience. But there's a program called the JET exchange program, and it's set up by the Japanese government, and they take Americans who their primary language is English, and they send you out. They get you out. I mean, you have to pay for the housing, but they also pay you. And then they send you to a location and you teach English for A year
Cool.
to 5 years.
Do you know how to teach English? Like how
They
to
give you curriculum.
Okay.
And it's like, look at this. It's like, imagine I have a picture of a dog. It's like, look at this. What is this? Dog. Great job. Like
Wow.
that's somebody, I
That
know
is
somebody doing it right
perfect.
now, and that's what she says that she's doing. So that's kind
Wow.
of the vibe.
And what age is that? What age are you teaching?
That would be like elementary school. You can teach like higher level ones. I think it actually goes all the way up to adults that want to learn, but you can do high school, middle school, elementary school, honestly, anything. The person
Okay.
I know did elementary school, but there are also different kinds of positions. So you might not be the primary English teacher. You could just be like a supplementary English teacher that maybe helps students who are really struggling or students who are really excelling and need more teachings in like an advanced course that maybe a Japanese teacher can't do. It just depends
Yeah.
what
And are
your
they gonna pay you enough to like live?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. I mean
What's the biggest difference between living in the US and going to Japan? Like what's
Oh God.
something that you might miss from the US or, just how's your lifestyle going to change?
Oh God. I don't know if I can speak on this. It's been like 10 years since I've been there. But from what I remember, maybe this is different because I'm living in California, but my host family didn't have a car at all, and it was totally fine. And it was just all oh God, a bullet train and all like just trains and all walking around. And something very distinctly that I remembered was, we have the Japanese backpacks that my host mom gave me, and everyone was okay if we just like dangled our phones and our keys off the side of your backpack and nobody would touch you at all. Whereas like I'm like hiding my keys in my pocket and in the zipper pocket and all that. So those were the two distinct things I remember from age 10. That was kind of shocking. But as for the culture, I'm sure it changed drastically. So I bet it's different. My best friend's actually studying abroad out there, and she says that everybody's nicer. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I don't want to speak on that and be wrong, but she says it's like the streets
Everybody's
are really,
nicer than here, or
it's like
everybody's nicer than when you were 10?
no, like everybody's nicer than here. By nicer,
Okay.
there are tons of nice people out here too, but by nicer, it's like the streets are very clean, like not a whole lot of
I
trash.
have heard that.
Yeah.
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 So like it's like I think people are nicer was the wrong thing to say. It's more
No, it's okay, Evan. You're not hurting anybody's feelings. I
Yeah,
promise.
it's okay. I feel like part of it is like Asian cultures in general, I feel like are known for like being very hard workers and like doing things correctly.
Yeah.
And like being respectful. So I
Yeah.
feel like that's part of it. Like, yeah, they wouldn't even dream of littering. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it feels wrong in their bones, you know?
Yeah.
Which
But I'm so excited to go. So
Let's not forget you got to get your master's first, right? We're
yes,
jumping
yeah.
we're jumping the gun a little.
Yeah, we are a little bit. Although the application to go is in like 5 months, so really not that far away.
how long
True.
is your master's program gonna be?
Only a year. Our terminal program where you can just go straight into your master's and you keep all your financial aid and scholarships and everything, and they just send you right on in. I started
Okay.
some grad classes this semester because they let you credit share if you do certain.
Wow. The
This
first
girl,
redeeming quality about RPI that I
this girl has her shit together.
Yeah, she really does.
She's
God, do you want to be my life coach? Oh God.
gonna find me a
Okay,
job.
should we talk about Israel softball more?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you get connected to
Oh, this
Israel
is a great
softball?
story. This is a fantastic
Okay, hit it.
So I think there was some like email system going out to the schools based off of last names of players. And my last name is McDowell, so not Jewish at all. However, one of my teammates, her last name is Speenberg, not Jewish at all. And so,
It's a flawed system. It's a flawed
yeah,
It's
system.
a flawed system. Richie? It's not
Logan.
picking me up.
yeah. So, they emailed my coach and they were like, hey, we see a Speenberg. Does she happen to be Jewish? And my coach was like, no, however, this one is. And that's kind of how I got in contact. It was a little late. So this was like 3 years ago. This was my sophomore year. So I didn't actually join back then, but the year after I did. So that's kind of how I went to the training camp, and then he was really nice and was like, play in Canada. And I was like, okay. And then I broke my arm.
And then you broke your arm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all part of the
That
But
was
you
process.
the
came
process.
back.
I'm really glad he wanted me to stay because I think I played like 2 games before I broke that thing.
Yeah,
So
but
Yeah, but
you
you
had
got hit.
really good at bats, though, I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah. And wait, we forgot to mention, Evan snaps her arm in half basically, and then
Runs
proceeds on the bases,
Oh yeah.
proceeds to score with a snapped in half arm.
her ulnar.
And then
Oh no,
her
yeah.
Ulna, sorry, not
ulnar.
ulnar.
And then I don't know what happened after that, but I think you were like, I think it's broken.
Yeah. Wolf tells the story a lot better than I
Yeah,
do,
she
but I had
does.
so much adrenaline going on.
Yeah.
I actually didn't feel anything. The umpire told me to squeeze my hand, and I did, I think on pure will. And it just, my initial thought was actually that my muscle was out of place. I was like, oh, because something felt weird, but it didn't feel like a bone. I'd also never broken anything before, but it literally felt like my muscle was like over, like here's the bone. It felt like my muscle was like over here. And
It
so I was
might have
like,
been.
that's weird. Like this is odd. Yeah, and then I get to third and I go like that and I said, "Can you feel and tell me if it's weird?" She
I
felt
just
and she
got the
was like,
shivers.
yeah, she told me to go see the trainer. So
That's
I
good.
did. Yeah.
After you scored, though,
Yeah, I did score. Yeah.
I think
It
it
was
was like a
great.
pass. No, not a pass
It
ball.
was
It
a
was like
sack fly. It was a
sack fly.
attempt to
It had to slide. Did you have to slide?
No, no.
No,
But
I vividly
it
remember
was
you not having to slide.
yeah, I'm so glad. It was actually a very easy base running. You made it
It
sound a
was
lot
you.
cooler than it was. It was
No,
very
no, no, no. You did. You just went around like you just like calmly advanced.
yeah.
There was no like
There was also a runner in
intense.
front of me too. The girls,
Yeah.
I walked, right? Oh,
Yes.
this
No.
is actually very ironic because you know the stat about sack bunting a lot and
Yes.
being woohoo so good at that. I
Yes.
actually missed 2 bunts prior to breaking my arm.
Damn
So it's
it, Evan.
really
Damn
ironic.
You
it,
got
Evan.
punished. You were punished.
So yeah.
The
So it's
game
actually
knows.
very
The
nice.
game knows.
No.
Yeah.
Evan was like, I have to get this done for my team no matter what. I need to get hit by this pitch.
No, literally, that's
Wear one off my ulna.
Yeah. No. Okay, either way, it wasn't like you were like doing anything crazy on the base path, but like your arm was still broken.
yeah.
Like
I was
every
like
step
not
probably
pumping my
hurt.
arm. Like I was not running hard at all,
Yeah, it's
to be
still
honest.
it's still insane and very impressive.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
This is why we have this podcast to tell everyone's unique story and bring
Irony.
light to all of it. And
Yeah.
I think it's just looking back, we're like laughing about it. I
Yeah,
know in the moment it was like probably the worst day
terrible.
of your life, but I think this is what we want to get out of these conversations is just
Yeah.
like we've all gone through so many hoops, like gone over so many hurdles to get to where we are today through softball and life and you name it, but we still continue to show up every tournament, right? It's just really awesome to be able to like get together with everybody again, despite, all the different journeys and battles that we go through individually.
Yeah. And I think personally the team makes me work harder because I feel like I like need to keep up with all of like the talent and the insane level that everyone's at on the national level. So like I missed those 2 bunts and then the season after I win a bunting award. So at
Oh,
least
Evan,
When she texted me, I was so excited to receive this award. And like she was telling me her intro, or yeah, giving me the rundown on the intro in
you
parentheses.
put it in parentheses.
In the parentheses.
Evan, I just want to just shrink you and keep you in my pocket.
thanks.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
So I might have one other one left. What about you, Z?
Dude, I've been raw dogging this.
Yeah, you've been doing
You're
great.
killing it.
Thank you. I wrote nothing down, and that's not meant to be disrespectful to
No,
you.
that's
I usually don't write anything down.
No, that's
True.
okay. That's actually the same with me in interviews. Everyone's like, come prepared with questions, but it comes to me
Okay, good.
in interviews.
And then
So
I feel like I can be more conversational.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have to like try to tie it all back to whatever question you want to ask.
Whatever's on my question.
Whatever
Yeah.
happens, happens. It's actually
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
more fun having you on. So it's great having you back
Oh.
there, buddy.
Thanks, man. I've missed the studio.
The home studio, the Zoom
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
I guess one last question for me is, given where you are today, what is a piece of advice you would give to, your younger self or anyone that wants to play at the next level, whether it's in college or internationally, but also still have education and if that's important to them?
I would say that, no matter how hard it is, the things that are important in your life, like you pick and choose. Like obviously not everything can be just as important as other things, but you will find a way to like get everything important in your life satisfied. Like you can go to an engineering school, you can play softball, you can play violin. I'm taking a violin class, it's very fun. You can play
What
violin,
don't you do?
you can travel, like you can join a national team. Like I did not think that all this would be possible. I never thought I'd go back and live in Japan because in my mind, like it was always go to school, go to grad school, work. But you can find a way to make it happen as long as you're okay with like little downtime. But in my opinion, not having downtime and doing things that you like, it doesn't feel like a task. It feels like just your life and that you're living your life to the fullest and be happy.
I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider running for president?
That was maybe the best question of the night.
I'm really glad you think I'd be a good president.
I honestly think you'd be such a good
I
president.
think everyone would be a lot happier.
Everybody be happy.
Message, yeah.
Be happy. It's a law now.
Yeah.
Be happy and do things that you like.
Yeah.
Bottom line. That's Evan's motto.
Yeah, totally.
Well, thanks for coming on the pod. We
Thanks
enjoy
for having
you.
me.
And I
Yeah,
know
this was a fun one.
this was a lot more like uplifting than most of ours. Not that they're
Yep.
not, but this one was very just like, this is Evan, everybody.
Yeah.
So
I think because you talked about your life a lot and like what you like to do as a human, which was nice.
Yeah. I like you guys, so I feel like it flows really nice.
Yeah, I agree. You know what, Evan, we could not be more different, but I
Really?
love that we get along so well. I'm saying like how you're very like systematic in your brain.
Oh, yeah.
No,
what do you see in your brain?
I don't see anything in my
No.
brain. Do you?
Yeah. That I get, that I know. But
You already know that. We've talked
Evan,
about.
like,
Oh.
what's happening in your brain and how does that process to like what you visualize and then how you go about your life?
I have a follow-up question to that.
Wait. I think this again stems from my love for math. Like I feel like everything has a systematic order in it and that it should follow that order. And then when things are out of such order, they fall apart. So
How do you create the order though? Or does it just already exist?
I feel like it already exists, just some people don't follow it, which works for them. It's not like it only works one way or the other, but
So give
I
me an
don't know.
example. Daily tasks, like how do you view them in your head versus like for
Like my
Z
day, I
and
have a very strict calendar and I stay very strict on it. But in little things
what
like,
happens if you go off
Off
script?
script.
Yeah, does
I
that
mean,
ever happen?
if things
If you're
come up,
like,
things
I
come
gotta
up.
go to the grocery store, I'm out of milk. Is it like, no, I can't do that until like 4 today?
No. It's like I do feel like there's a good balance between go with the flow and stick to my strict order, but the important things are laid out, like practice, softball. I mean, in college, I feel like things are pretty laid out for you in general. Like you have a class schedule, you have a practice schedule, you have a lift schedule, you have yada yada
Yeah,
yada.
I mean, I feel like being student athletes, like
Yeah.
to a degree, we're probably like better than everybody else
Yeah.
at that stuff.
Well, because it's created for you, right? Like you don't even have to think about it. It's like,
Yeah,
here's what
and
your
it's
day
like
looks like.
skills that you're learning from
Yeah.
it being built in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like I've been in school since I can remember being alive. So I feel like my life is just basically laid out on a
Boom,
nice
boom, boom.
calendar pattern.
When you do math in your head, Maddie, you know what I'm about to ask. When you do math in your head, say you have to like, oh, move things over, right? Can you see all of that laid out in your brain?
Like move things over?
Like carry the one.
Oh,
I got it.
I don't know if this will make you feel better or worse. I cannot do mental math at all.
So, can you see anything in your brain?
Yeah. Like, you know what? A better example, I feel like is not like carrying ones. I feel like it's actually the harder things. For example, like this isn't too difficult, but if you're taking a derivative of x squared, I can like watch the 2 go in the front and then subtract 1. Yeah. Is that what you're
This
talking
is what
about?
I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I got nothing. I cannot see because I know people can see, can
Yeah.
visualize
Like
up
the
there.
answer, like if it's not too difficult, like if it doesn't require more than like 2 or 3 steps, I can see it. Like I can see the answer and it says
I want to. I
Incredible.
won't be able to see.
Incredible.
oh, it's
I
not on
can't
like crazy
see.
things. Like if you told me to multiply 2 like complex numbers together, I don't know.
Yeah.
I need
No,
paper
I'm not
or
worried about
calculator.
that. Your last example was perfect.
Okay, great.
Amazing.
Anyways, I
Incredible.
really enjoyed this.
Yeah, me too. I was so nervous, but it's totally fine.
No, we're
That's so
chill.
chill.
You're
Yeah, we were
easy.
so chill.
We appreciate your time. I know it's bedtime, and I know you
Talk
got to stick to
to
that schedule. You got to stick to that schedule. So we're gonna let you go here, but thanks for sharing your story and coming on our podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This was actually super, super fun.
Yay.
Hey.